in Nairobi City, County, who are on an education visit to the Senate. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. I will ask Senator Boni Halwale to welcome them in the Senate. Under 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the privilege to acknowledge our children. Mr. Speaker, Riara schools have made a very big contribution to the education of this nation. I therefore wish to welcome the young people plus their teachers and assure them that as we sit down here in the chamber, their round faces reminds us God's message that the world will never come to an end. In the coming days, some of them will be in this house, in the other house, in the county assemblies. There'll be doctors like me, there'll be lawyers like you, there'll be teachers like many, and so on and so forth. We wish you well, and all the children of Kenya who are now sitting exams, we wish you good luck. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Boni. Honorable CS, you may respond now to that last batch of questions from the honorable members.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to acknowledge the students who are here from Riara. I think it's a very good, I remember my days as a student visiting different areas where we got a lot of interest and we learned quite a few things. Nianza na swali la Mheshimiwa Danson Mungatana kutoka kwa ndugu zetu wa Tana River kuhusu shida ambayo imetokea kule kwa sababu ya upungufu wa wasimamizi wa wanyamapori. Penda kuambia kwamba shida ambayo tumekuwa nayo ni upungufu wa watu wa kutosha. Hivi sasa rais wetu ametupa ruhusa ya kuweza kuajiri zaidi ya karibu 1,500 wapya kwa wasimamizi. Kwa hivyo tutaanza kuajiri hivi karibuni, tutangaza, wengi tutatoa kule kwa National Youth Service ndio waweze kuwa ukiitana wako hapo wanaweza kuhudumia kwa njia ambayo inafaa, na tukipata hela zaidi tutaweza kuongeza wengine. Nipende pia kuarifia kwamba katika mna shida tofauti katika upande wa Tana River kwa sababu ya ule uhusiano ama kuishi karibu na wanyama, na pia katika zile shida ambazo zimewakumba, na sio mamba peke yake, ni wengi. Lakini tayari tumelipa katika muhula ambao umepita huu ambao unaendelea, tumelipa shilingi milioni 77 kwa wale ambao wameathiriwa katika county ya Tana River. Moving on to the second question about harassment of tourists and visitors at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. It is a real concern that I've spoken about. I'd like to inform this House that former Senator, the Minister for Roads and Transport, held a very important meeting with his team, and he has initiated procedures and changes that will be undertaken to make sure that the airport is operating properly in many ways, from its physical perspective to the way the operations run, to the way visitors are received. We're working closely together as one team of government and the Kenya Kwanza government, and we are going to ensure that this does not happen. Yes, definitely when people feel harassed, there's a problem. I was telling the Commissioner General of KRA that you always have to look at the bigger picture. That most of us, when you're growing up, we were given the duty of running after chicken. So we could catch the chicken whenever we had a visitor, so the chicken could be slaughtered. And you could run all over and try to catch the chicken. But at times we saw what our fathers did. Instead of running after the chicken, they just use maize. And they would drop, one seed of maize, we can call it a seed of maize, and the chicken would bite it, another one, and you get close, and they catch, and they're able to get hold of the chicken. You don't calculate the cost of the chicken, because the cost of the maize, because if you concentrate on the small pieces of, maize comb, you lose the bigger chicken. So we're trying to tell them that, yes, at times you may want people to be charged for this and this, but let's look at the bigger picture. Furthermore, I realize that they have been harassing people who don't need to be harassed. For example, you carry your phone. I was there just the other day.
I was visiting, I was traveling, and I saw them stop a lady who just had her 2 old phones in her bag, and they made her open her bag. What's the deal about having 2 or 3 phones? You aren't allowed to have 2 or 3 phones? And it's different. If you're carrying a package of phones to sell, you need to pay duty. You're carrying your own individual phones, and they can tell they're not in a package. Why do you even need to stop the person to verify that? So there's a lot of education that needs to go to our people that we're working together to be able to raise enough system. But work is being implemented, and the future is bright. About the question, very good question about Baringo. It's good to note that we can't just allow domestic animals to go and graze in game reserves. That's where they're set as game reserves. We know there's that challenge where people need to go and get fodder and all that. And we've entered into agreement with several counties. You know, we've entered into agreement with Mbere, with Shimba, Mbere, you know, Conservancy, Shimba Hills Conservancy, and South Kitui Conservancy about how to do some of these things. But there's also the danger of diseases. As you know, Kenya wants to place itself as a big marketer of beef to the world. And if you start mixing animals for livestock with wild animals, there's a danger of transfer of diseases. And therefore, we can get to a place where all exports from Kenya are banned. And so we lose money. So it's also important. Also, diseases can be transferred to animals, and we eat those animals, and we fall sick, and we die. So it's very important to keep the wild animals separated from the domestic animals, the livestock animals. On behalf of the monkeys, it's good to see another senator speaking on behalf of the snakes. And it is true, education and awareness are key. Many people don't know how to identify animals and identify dangerous and non-dangerous snakes and how to deal with them. It's good to note that only 33% of snakes in Kenya are poisonous. 66% are not poisonous. Unfortunately, they don't have a uniform like the students of Riara, where you can tell these ones are from here or these ones are from here, which are poisonous, which are not poisonous. But we can educate people on how to keep away from the snakes. For example, people need to know that when you have chicken in your household, you're inviting snakes to come to your household. You're more in danger of getting snakes to your household when you have chicken around, because they come for the eggs, they come for the chicks. Put the chicken away from the household. That you can also put water buckets and dig, you know, make some water areas for the snakes away from your home. So snakes zinapindukia huko, zinakunywa maji, zinaenda mbali. By also looking at the gala where you put your maize and ensuring that it is airy and you don't have rats, because they come for the rats and then they meet you on the way and then they bite you. So it's about awareness, and we are going to do it much better. I think it's a very good idea that work on that. About the antivenom, I had said earlier on that we are about to start manufacturing a process to end up manufacturing antivenom, snake antivenom in our country. So it doesn't have to come from far, but even in the meantime, I'm going to get snake antivenom everywhere. So even as we manufacture snake antivenom, we welcome your offer for us to come to your farm and milk the snakes and have that as part of research process. And also, just to let you know, and to let the members of the public know, Mr. Speaker, with the indulgence, is that wild animals are called animals because they are wild. You can't reason with them. You can't tame them. You can't tame a lion. And that elephants are dangerous animals, and they are very fast. A normal human being, myself here and Senator Mungatana, who looks active, when we are running, I think the top speed we can make is 25 kilometers per hour. And that's time we are sweating like crazy. An elephant, when it's just jogging, will do 28, 30 kilometers per hour, 35 kilometers per hour. You cannot outrun an elephant. Even if you are far, it will catch up to you. And so we need to tell people how to keep away. If you see it flapping its ears, you know that's a danger. you keep away. You can't outrun an elephant. You may be far, but he'll catch up with you very, very fast. So it's about being able to let wananchi know and being able to have a good program, and we're going to do something that is going to be effective using the media, local media, and also community education for people to know how to live with or near wild animals. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity and this session. And as we continue promoting our country, we have to be able to protect our wildlife. As you know, we are getting new visitors coming. I'm leaving here to rush to Nairobi National Park. The president of Romania is visiting. He's currently exploring the park. I want to be able to show him a few things as the interest in Kenya grows. Our president, William Ruto, has been able to arouse interest in our country, and we should see an influx of many people coming to our country. Kenya is being spoken about everywhere. I witnessed this in New York when I went to sessions in the United Nations, whereby once you get in and you raise your hand, they skip many other people to let Kenya speak first. Kenya is now an anchor nation in terms of how we are being looked at in the foreign world, and we should expect very many visitors to come to this country for tourism, for conferences and others, and it is our job to ensure they are comfortable and they're here so they can leave their money behind, so we can create employment for our kids. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank you, honorable CS. I will ask Senator Chimera to be the first person to ask you questions next time you appear, because he had a question. He came in when I had already exercised the discretion to close on the question time. I want to appreciate honorable CS, together with your team, Madam Sylvia, PS, and the rest of the team that supports you, for taking time to come in and respond to the questions in this honorable house. I'm very sure your involvement in answering these questions is giving us the comfort and the assurance as to the role your ministry is playing, and you will take into consideration a number of the proposals and comments made by members in furtherance of your work in the ministry. I would like to appreciate you once again and wish you and your team a very good day, and you stand released from the Senate. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we had two other CSs who were
8.2 FM. We are in charge. 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 8.2 FM. We